the full length of your body, and you can do it. You can do it with me. Begin to wipe yourself. You're not quite touching your body. It's your energy field you're touching. But whatever, we're trying to release all of that heaviness we may have. So we want to clear it from our energy field as if we're sweeping it off our body, giving it to the earth. If you're uncomfortable doing this, imagine you're doing it. Let's sweep off. First, we want to sweep off everything that may be holding us back. And it's especially beautiful now because we are still at this, the beginning of this new moon energy. All right, so we'll clear our energy field for a moment. We'll sit back in the chairs. We can close the eyes and let our breath begin to bring in this fresh, new wisdom and light for us. So let's breathe in together and breathe out. We'll first do a few cleansing breaths to release anything that is still holding on. So we'll breathe in together and out breath through the mouth. Breathing in together, out through the mouth. Okay. Now let's all visualize ourselves in a crystal. Visualize yourself the size that you are and the crystal around you, okay? Maybe it's a clear quartz crystal. Maybe you can even see fractals of rainbow light through it. Have that vision, feel it all around you. That's it. Let's call in a vision for ourselves as we're in this clear crystal, something positive, beautiful, sweet. Let's call in a vision for our community. We're keeping it positive. So whatever that, if it feels like it's coming out negative, see if you could flip it so that there's a positive charge. And then we'll move that to the greater community, our planet, humanity. Now, we are only doing this for a minute or so, so you might have to be a little bit vague with it instead of detailed, but get that vision. Maybe it's a vision of everyone in joyous celebration, holding hands without masks, right? It's a positive image. And let's hold those 3 visions. And in this clear crystal, we want to send golden light shooting up to the universe. That energy we've created, we want to shoot it up to the universe and anchor it in the earth. And then within this clear crystal, we'll connect. We could bring our hands to the heart. Connecting all of our energies together as we begin our class. So we know that we have this beautiful support in our yoga community. We may not know one another, but we're gathering together as a group in harmony and peace and movement and laughter. And that's what we want to create outside of this community. Beautiful, everyone. You can begin to open the eyes. I'm going to begin to shift myself a little bit, and I think I have to move the computer screen, so please bear with me. That way you can see the full length and what is happening in the chair. Now, in I teach a class on Fridays with the Harrington Library through Lynn, and we talked about some of the things that we may want to have in our class. A chair, that is a folding chair. I'm getting up to show you a block. If you have a block, you can always use that as we're seated. All right, so it could go here, it can go here, and that begins to work the inner thighs, okay? So I'm gonna have my block here today. Daisy's out. Daisy's done, just like enough yoga. All right, here we go. I'm bringing my hands into prayer position, and I'm going to very gently press the fingers into one another. So I press pointer finger against one another, and I move down. And I want to remember the thumbs. So I'm waking up the fingers. And I like what we did the other day. We're going to bring our hands close together. We want to reach them up, and we want to begin to open them like a lotus flower above our head. Beautiful crown. We could be kings, we could be queens, we can be gods, we can be goddesses. Take a moment and imagine that beautiful lotus flower opening up and a stream of golden light is coming around us. Beautiful. I see it. And now we'll open up. Our energy field is open. We're ready to receive, and we're going to do some movement. So if you want, you could bring your hands back to the heart. I'm going to breathe in, looking to the right, breathing out center, breathing in, looking left, breathing out center, breathing in, looking up, saying ah to release the jaw. Ah. Breathing out center, breathing in, looking down, breathing out center. And then I'm going to begin to roll the shoulders. I always get a little snap, crackle, pop as I begin. So I'm going to go a little bit more gently with that instead of pushing through, which is part of my habit. And then I'm going to roll the shoulders the other way. That's it. All right, so we're going to sit up nice and tall. I'm going to show you, we're going to kind of switch our seats a little bit. You won't have to go far. What we're doing is we're going to move ourselves so that one side of our body is against the chair. I have my left side against the chair. You see my back is nice and long? I'm going to try both hands on the back of the chair. Okay? Now I'm facing where my legs are, but now I'm going to twist. I'm going to look to the left. My legs are again, left side is against the chair. I'm going to twist to the left. I'm going to take a few breaths here. I'd like you to sense how this feels. These spirals are really wonderful, especially in the morning. Taking another breath in. Another cleansing breath out. I'm going to come back to center, and I'm going to move myself to the other side so gracefully. Watch out for your block. Try to remember where you have it if you're using a block. Reason is, sometimes we don't look down. So pay attention to where we're putting it. Okay. Hands on right side against the chair. Hands are on the back of the chair. Now I'm going to twist to the right. But I'm doing so gently. It's the morning. But I want to take a few breaths. I want to let my shoulders be relaxed as I breathe. And I let my body twist so those internal organs get a little twist, a little squeezing out. And then I'm going to come back to center. There we go. I found my block. You can stay where you are. I'm going to move again because I'm going to do cat dog for the back. You can bring your hands to the thighs. I'm going to push the tailbone away. I'm going to lift the heart. I'm going to lift my face. And here I inhale. And here I exhale, I'm bringing navel to spine, and I'm rounding the back. So we're working with synovial fluid, breathing in, lifting, breathing out, getting the joints nice and lubricated this morning. Feel what's happening with the body and if it's bothering you to do this. Now, we don't have to move too far forward for it. We can stay here upright, and then we'll come back to center. I'm going to bring myself back. I like to do a little scan, noticing how the body is beginning to wake up. Okay, I'm going to open up the knees. We want to do our trunk rolls. So I love these. So the knees are open. I'm going to bring my hands to my knees, and I'm going to go 3 times in one direction and then 3 times in the other. If it's uncomfortable for you, move slower and don't let your head drop, because sometimes it can make us feel a little dizzy. So become aware of how your body is responding to this. Breathing in, breathing out. I notice right away in the back of the hips for me, things are a little bit snug. And I come back to center, taking a breath here. Now the other side. A little movement in the spinal column, in the upper trunk. I come back to center. Beautiful. Beautiful. We're going to take our arms out. Feel your feet pressing on the floor. Anybody who would like can keep the block here. We're going to open the hands. Hands are nice and open. I always forget when I'm showing that everybody is following. It's okay. It's good. It's very good. We're going to breathe in. We're going to open these arms. Get to where the shoulders are, right? You see the shoulders. Some of us lower the arms a touch. Yes? And then if you want, you can bring the arms a little further back, but this is a big heart opening. And then lift the heart. Breathe into the heart. This may be challenging. To protect ourselves, sometimes we close ourselves down in the heart. So be aware of how this is feeling. And then we're going to come back to center, wrap our arms around us, give ourselves a hug, because why not? Breathing in, opening. We're opening up to this beautiful day. Breathing out, giving ourselves a hug, trusting that we make the right choices today. Breathing in, opening our heart. Breathing out, closing these arms around us, knowing that we're keeping ourselves safe. Breathing in, opening up again. Breathing out. Let these be the arms of the universe, protecting us, holding us, supporting us. And now we'll come back to center. Beautiful. Now, if we have the block, let's let it rest for a moment in an area you know where it is, okay? For our own safety. I'm going to bring myself a little bit forward now, and I'm going to hold on to the chair. And I'm going to lift my right knee towards me, and I'm going to flex the toes. I'm going to bring the right foot down. And I'm going to switch. But I want to engage the stomach muscles. So we're going to go a little bit faster. If this bothers you, if it bothers your hip, please refrain from doing it. We're going to widen the legs now. So it's as if we're stepping apart and then stepping in. You don't have to make the legs too wide. And then we're going to make it like a half circle. So it'll look like this. There we go. I don't know what is actually happening because I can't see anybody. But what we're doing is we're taking that. Oh, thank you, Alice. We want to circle that femur bone in that hip socket. If it's available to you, thank you, Lynn. And if anybody wants to get fancy, you could stand and throw that leg right over the chair. We won't do that today. All right, so those with repair work, be mindful, please. Come back to center. Notice how the body's feeling. Big wake up for me. I feel like that everything is trying to wake up and yet feel very, very relaxed. All right, so from here, we're going to take our hand on the shin. We're going to bring that thigh in real close to our body. Squeeze it real and nice and close. And then if you want, you could bring your nose to your knee. Rounding the back. Now, if you've just had a cup of coffee and a bagel, this may not feel so good. Circle the ankle. I had a cup of coffee and toast and it doesn't feel so good. And then circle the other way. And then we'll bring that foot down. We'll switch to the other side. Hands around the left shin. Squeezing it in. You can see how the body works, the digestion. We're going to circle and circle that foot. It feels so delish. And then maybe bring nose to knee, round the back, take a breath here. And then we're going to bring that foot down. Now we're going to take the right leg. Again, please be aware if you have repair work. This may not be available to you. Ankle is on the right ankle is on my left thigh. I lift the left heel. Get a little stretch here. Now, I'm going to take both my hands. I'm going to give my foot a little massage while I'm getting a stretch in the hip. There we go. And I'm going to breathe. That's a lot happening today. I know it's a Monday. Massage the foot a little bit. Feel the top of the foot, the toes, waking up the body. We want to wake up our feet. We need our feet. They keep us balanced, right? Okay. And then we'll bring that heel down. If you want to try this, you're welcome to try this. I'm going to take one hand on each side of the foot. I'm going to show you. I'll show you sideways so you can see. And I'm going to straighten the leg a little bit. I'm going to keep actually a bend in the knee. And now I'm going to try to bring nose to knee. And then if anybody wants to try this, I have to do it this way. If you want, there's another way to do this, another posture. You can take your leg out to the side. Now, I know some of my yogis like to do this. If you don't want to do this, you can imagine you're doing this. This is a very great posture. And we'll bring that leg back. So those legs are waking up, everybody. My right side is awake. Now I take my left ankle on my right thigh. I'm going to lift the heel. While I'm lifting the heel, a little self-care. They're your feet. Little massage. Get into those acupressure points at the bottom of the feet. Remember your toes. Remember the tops of the feet. I always liked when my teacher would do this in class because I would realize how important the touch on the bottom of the feet was. And it seemed to vibrate throughout my body. Like when we go for those pedicures, some of us, feels good. Well, we can do this. All right, so now we'll bring that heel back down. We're going to see if we can take this foot in our hand, first straight, nose to knee. Making sure we're breathing. I'm sorry you have to see my big foot, but that's the way it is. And then I'm going to take 2 fingers around the big toe. My right arm extends, my left leg goes out to the side. I'm going to try to sit up nice and tall. Some people have straps that they use. I forgot. You can also work with the strap. For those who are unable to do this, we're imagining we are in our best form doing this. Breathing in, breathing out, we come back to center. That foot comes to the floor. I got to see some feet. Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay. So let's sit up nice and tall. I'm bringing my right hand to my chair. My left arm is going to reach up, and I'm going to tip over a little bit to the right. There we go. I'm going to breathe into the left side of the ribs. And as I do, I'm just going to open up the knees a little bit. Yes. Now I'm going to reach all the way over and around. Breathing in, that arm goes back. My head is going to follow. Breathing out, I'm going to reach. One more. Breathing in. Over. Breathing out. And I'm going to come back to center, rolling the spine up. Feet on the earth, left hand on the chair, right arm reaches. Breathing in here, breathing out. I drop over to the other side. Beautiful. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm going to open up the knees. And now I'm going to reach even further. Breathing in, reaching. My head is following. Breathing out, I look behind me. Breathing in. Breathing out. Excellent, everyone. Breathing in. Breathing out. And so I'm going to bring myself back up to center. Take a moment. Scan the body from crown of the head to the soles of the feet. Do you feel how the body has awakened? Feels good. So from here, we're going to stand. Okay? If those of you want to stay, some of you may want to stay seated, please do. That's okay with me. And I'll show you the postures. I just have to adjust our screen a little bit, check on timing, okay? And I'm going to also turn my chair. Be aware of the block. See, my block is falling. Okay, here we are. We're going to stand now. I'm showing you this way. You can stand, in any direction. But I'm showing you this way so you can see what the postures will look like. First, we start mountain pose. We want to connect. We want to feel our feet on the earth, our grounding. So let's take a moment. You can always hold one hand onto the chair. Connect with your feet, noticing your feet on the earth. Noticing the legs, the hips, the torso, the neck, and the head. And we'll do a cleansing breath here. Breathing in, breathing out through the mouth. And from there, we'll hold on to the chair. And we're going to begin to take our feet. And we're going to walk them back, but we don't want to put pressure on the chair. We just want to walk the feet out a little bit. And now, my back is not completely flat, but I'm going to push the tailbone away. And you can see how now the body begins to move into a 90-degree angle. If that is not available, imagine it is a 90-degree angle. If you want, you can keep your vision straight ahead. If this is okay for you, you may want to even begin to look down. So it depends on how you're feeling. what calls to you, not so much what you're seeing. We'll take a deep breath in, feeling the stretch in the back and the glutes and the hamstring muscles, the calves. We're going to look up. We're holding the chair. We're going to step our right leg forward. Be aware of balance here. So you can see my back is still a little forward, but I want to come up. You can slide the chair towards you a little, so you're still holding the chair if that's what you need today. My right leg is forward. I'm going to come forward a little bit first. I want to lengthen my spine. Now I'm going to rise up. You can use one hand or both hands and reach both hands up or one hand. So if right leg is forward, left arm is reaching up, or both. Feel the grounding of the feet, and then we bend the right knee. That front knee bends. There we go. Stay with the breathing here. So we have feet on the earth, we're breathing, and we're focusing. And now we'll bring the arms down. Now, if you want, we can do a little twist. If you're going to twist and you need one hand on the chair, take your left hand on the chair, your right hand to your heart, and just a little teeny twist. If you're using both hands on the heart, and we twist. When you have one hand on the chair, it's a little more challenging to do the twist. And yet it's still helping you with balance. So we'll come back. We step both feet forward. Mountain pose. Beautiful, everyone. Now our right leg comes back. Our back is nice and long. You can keep hands on the chair. We're going to come forward a little. Now we rise back up. We bend the left knee. See how that right leg is straight? If you want, you can keep right hand on the chair, one arm reaches, or both arms reach. We want to stay grounded, breathing, and focusing. That's it. Feeling our strength, our focus, our breath. And now, again, if we're working with one hand, right hand on the chair, left hand on the heart, or two hands together, we twist a little bit to the left. We get those twists in today, which are really lovely for the body, for our spine, the internal organs. And now we return to center. We step back into mountain. Now, we're going to do a little balance. We have the chair, right? We're going to bring ourselves to the toes. And as you're balancing on the toes, you can have your hand on the chair. Some of you may want to practice no hands. And maybe just the thighs or just touching the chair a little. And then we bring our heels down. Now just a little pointer here. We want to focus, and we want to imagine our ankles are not turning out, that the ankles are forward too. So we'll try it again. Breathing in, we come to the toes. Breathing out to the heels. Breathing in toes, breathing out heels. We'll do it a few more times. Really work those toes. This is what helps us stay balanced, those beautiful toes. And a little bit more, and we come down. Beautiful. Beautiful, everyone. I'm going to turn us now so that we can all be facing. I'm just checking timing. We're good with timing today, which I love. We're going to open the legs out. That's it. Now, if you wanted, we can do a forward stretch. So you may mean you have to switch your position to behind the chair. So I'm going to show you, let's see, wide-legged. Okay, I'm holding the chair. I want to work with right here in the hip sockets. I'm going to push the tailbone away again. Different stretch. You can always bring your hands to the seat of the chair. Come forward a little bit, feel the legs. Maybe you can keep the legs straight. Nice deep breathing. And then slowly we make our way back up. And we can then move on to that felt like I certainly needed that. That felt good. All right, so we'll widen up the feet now, please. Beautiful. My right leg is going to turn out. My left leg turns in. I have my left hand on the chair if I need it, okay? And if you're in a chair, you can do this in the chair. We're going to breathe in, either reaching both arms out or one hand on the chair. Breathing out, the right knee bends. So I'm going to try to make a right angle with that right leg. There we go. I'm going to turn to the right. And I'm going to focus on my breathing. So I'm either hand here or here. That's it. And I'm looking to the right. We're going to do a little movement with this today. We're going to shoot the arrow. I feel like I'm called to shooting the arrow today. So let's turn our hands out. For anybody who may not be able to shoot the arrow because of balance, work with the imagination. Find a focal point and think about what you want to reach for. And then we take the left arm around, breathing in, breathing out, we bring it back. My front leg straightens. Cupid's arrow, breathing in. Breathing out, big out breath. Breathing in, shoot for that dream. Breathing out. One more. Beautiful. We'll bring the arms down. We bring both toes forward. We take a moment. We're ready for the other side. You're welcome to move the chair. Be aware of the block. Know where that block is. We're going to turn the left foot out, the right foot in. There we go. We're going to bend the left knee. Some of us might be here. We're going to turn the left head. Did you catch that, everybody? Said turn the left head. Keep your right head center. Turn your left head. Focusing, breathing. Beautiful. We're going to turn our hands out. What do we want to reach for? Breathing in, gathering it up. Breathing out, whoosh, shooting that arrow. Breathing in, whoosh, breathing in, whoosh, breathing in. Whoosh. Beautiful, breathing in. Whoosh. And one more. Whoosh. We come back. Both toes forward. That feels good. We're going to come back up to standing. And I want to do just one more balance, and then I'm going to take us to the seat. Notice how the body's feeling. Mine's feeling very energized. Okay, so this balance posture, it's called tree. So we can work with one hand on the chair. We're going to turn our left knee out. I'm starting with the left knee because right hand is on the chair. Now maybe the heel stays right against the leg. Or You might be able to bring the foot up a little higher. On this side, I can go up a little bit higher. You may want to bring one hand to the heart. Some of us who have the balance may be bringing two hands to the heart, whoops, or two hands here. Now, the key when we're balancing is focus and grounding. And then when we have that, we're breathing. Some of us may even want to bring their back against the wall. And I can assure you, when you have your back against the wall, you're stable. Okay? Nice, everybody. We'll come back down. Mountain pose, switching the chair if you'd like, or switching the body. We stand, right knee turns out, right foot comes up. So on this side, it shows up differently for me. Hands at the heart or one hand on the chair, one hand on that beautiful heart. Beautiful. Now there are variations of tree. Some of us can reach arms up in tree. Wow, everybody. We might get a little wiggly and a little wobbly. It's all good. We'll come back down, both feet on the earth. And now I invite you to your chairs. So we're going to begin to move ourselves into the last posture before I take the chair to the singing bowls. Okay, so let's do this before. This really is one of my favorites. We'll open up the knees. We'll take our right arm on the inside of the leg. We slide down the right side. Left hand to the heart, the elbow reaches, the arm opens. And some of us may be able to look up. Beautiful, beautiful. For me, this is one of my favorites. Nice, easy breathing. Gorgeous. We bring hand to the heart, we rise up. And we'll go to the other side. So, left arm on the inside. We slide down, hand to the heart, arm reaches, we look up. You can open the hands, staying connected with the breathing. Beautiful. And then we begin to rise up. If you give me one moment, I'm switching gears. You guys can settle down into the chair. You don't need the block now. I'd like us to rest rather than working with any strengthening of the muscles for this part of class. We sit back. You can close the eyes if you'd like. Some of you may even have blankets that you like to wrap around yourself. There we go. All right, everybody. So let's close the eyes if that's comfortable. Some of you may like watching what I'm doing. I don't know if you can see it, but whatever is calling to you today. We want to connect with our breathing. You can hear that okay? Okay. Breathing in and breathing out. We want to relax muscles now around our forehead, around the eyes and the jaw. And we let that move through our neck, our shoulders, down the arms, and through the fingertips. We let the torso relax. The muscles around the hips and the legs. All the way through the feet. And a relaxed part of ourselves gets up, walks through the doors onto a footpath. And this footpath leads us to a beautiful golden meadow. And in the distance, we see a beautiful tree, a giant maple tree, and we walk towards it. We walk around this tree, looking at the gnarly roots, touching the bark of the tree with both hands, letting the remnants of whatever feels heavy or weighted on our shoulders, releasing, giving it to this beautiful maple tree. And as we walk around, we find a spot to sit and a blanket to wrap ourselves in. We take a breath here. And we look up. Through the branches, we see the bright blue sky. Wisps of white clouds floating by. We look at the colors of the leaves on this magical tree. Green, orange, yellow, red. We see wildlife, birds, squirrels. And as we're here, we may receive a message from our higher self, from our spirit guides, our spirit helpers. Let's take a moment to listen as we watch the breeze move through the leaves. And we've heard the message, or maybe not today, and we take a moment to say thank you to this beautiful tree, to the messengers that came, to the animals we saw, as we begin to get up and begin to walk back to the path, through the beautiful golden grass. And maybe that blanket is still with us as our gift. And we walk back and back on the path. Back and back, back to our home, through the door, back to our seat on the chair. And we take a moment to remember that message, holding it in our heart as our breathing begins to deepen. We'll awaken, moving the body a little bit, and then bringing hands to our heart. And here we take a moment, bringing to mind someone in need of healing, moving their face from mind into heart, being generous with what we give and sending this out to those suffering around the world, in our own country, in our own hearts. We ask that suffering is transformed into peace, into freedom, into healing. We ask for the healing of our planet, the healing of humanity as we now take from our hearts, passing this wonderful energy created today. We send it to all of us, including those we held in light, and then we send it into the cosmos for healing, peace, love, freedom, and unity. And when you are ready, please open the eyes. And I thank you, thank you, thank you, each and every one, for coming and joining this beautiful group of sweet yogis and yoginis. I wish you all a beautiful week. And we have class with Harrington Library, and that class is starting to grow. That's on Fridays, 10:30. Lynn has the info. And we do a similar class, pretty similar. I think that's it, right, for the class this week. So I thank you. I love seeing you. So much joy seeing those faces.
James.
So, everybody feeling good? We're good?